right, y'all, welcome back. This is Where's the Lie with Bobby Fish, and today our guest is the one, the only, the complete Matt Cardona, the Indy King.
Indy God,
Indy
Deathmatch
God.
King. Come on, Bobby.
No,
I know I have so many nicknames. It's hard.
I just
It's
shit
so
on my
hard.
own introduction.
No, it's all good.
God damn it. Can we
I
do
will-
this over?
No, let's
we don't
roll
do
with
it.
it.
We
We're
don't
live,
do that.
pal.
We don't do that. We
Yeah.
don't do that here. Yeah.
No,
It's live, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Matt, I watched recently your rewatch of the Nick Gage match with Devon.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Man, the blood, the amount of blood. Okay, so, I don't know if you've covered this on other interviews, but what did this? Can you even put into words like what this did for the Matt Cardona that we know and love today? Because I do feel like it did. It set you off on a whole different ride and a whole different trajectory. I thought, like, man, this guy's just he had it planned and figured out. But I guess what is it that you? How much of this was strategic and how much of this was like, hey, this is just I'm gonna fucking ride it.
This is going to be a long-winded answer to your question.
I like long-winded.
To answer the first question, it changed my career and it changed my life, this match. Now, was this a master plan? Absolutely not. This was not a plan at all. I knew once I got released from WWE, and even while I was still in WWE, that I needed to be taken more seriously. I needed to change things up. As you know, Bobby, in WWE and AEW, even in places like TNA, you can only control what you can control.
Right.
You can pitch things all day, but at the end of the day, you're a character on a show. So that's fine. I leave, I get fired. Now everything's in my control, which is a good thing and a bad thing, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
But I got fired, and the pandemic had just started. There was nowhere to go.
Right.
There was nowhere to wrestle, no indies. I did a few things at AEW, didn't work out. I was bummed. I was devastated. Ended up being a blessing in disguise. Nothing against AEW, but I needed to find who I was. Who is Matt Cardona? Is he just Zack Ryder with a different name? That sucks.
Right.
So it took me a couple months, then a whole year until the world opens back up. I would say maybe like the next April. And I'm doing random indies and I'm doing TNA, and I'm Matt Cardona, but who the fuck's Matt? Even I don't know.
Right.
Who the fuck am I? I don't fucking know. And I get approached to do this death match versus Nick Gage, and at the time, like Dark Side of the Ring, his episode just aired.
Yep.
He's almost killing David Arquette, like this criminal, this drug addict. Like I can't watch scary movies. I couldn't even finish his Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
That's how disgusting it was. And you want me to wrestle this guy
right
in a death match? Get the fuck out of here. No way.
So that's my initial, like, I know, like, okay, that's where my head would have gone.
My too,
and then
Bobby.
I thought maybe yours had not. And then, the reveal for me on with the conversation with Devon was like, no, that's you were thinking the same exact thing.
Same exact thing. No fucking way.
So
There's
what?
no
way. Where's the change? What changes that for you? Because I don't know that there's anything that's going to change my mind.
I thought, you know what? Like, I bet there's some people out there who want to see Nick Gage carve up Zack Ryder with that pizza cutter.
Was that just a random thought, like on a Sunday afternoon?
the match was presented to me first.
Sure.
And I said no.
Right.
And
okay.
my knee-jerk reaction is no way.
Right.
But now it's in my head. Now I'm thinking about the possibility. What if? Right? I'm like, ooh, there could be something here. Like, then I talked to Brett Lauderdale, the promoter, and this all started from John Carlo. Do you know John Carlo? He works at AEW. He used to work at WWE. Tall, good-looking camera guy. Anyway, I knew him from WWE. He had this is before he went to AEW, so he was working with GCW. It was actually his idea. then he puts me in contact with Brett Lauderdale. We have a talk, and I'm still thinking like, no fucking way.
Right.
But I'm like, you know what? This will get people talking. I'll make it like I'll do like a street fight, right? No glass,
Right.
no light tube,
no fucking
no
light
pizza
tube.
cutter.
Come on, right?
Yeah, we'll go through a door, tape, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I get there, and I'm just in the moment, right? I'm like, well, fuck, like, if we're gonna jump in the pool, let's fucking dive head first. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm gonna do it, like Michael Hayes says this all the time, you can't be half pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like if I'm gonna do
true.
a death match, I might as well do it all.
You
right?
fucking did, man.
That's one thing.
fucking
Nobody can
did.
take that away from. I did it all. The pizza cutters, the glass, the light tubes, everything. Like I knew I'd get a couple trickles of blood on me, so I wore all white.
And so when you gave that explanation, and I thought the same thing when I saw your gear, because I know you're somebody who puts a lot of thought into your gear.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's strategic as hell. But then to hear you say it, and it was like, it's strategic as hell, but it's also fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
It
Like,
it just goes without saying.
I knew I'd get a couple trickles of blood. My white shirt turned fucking maroon, dude.
Yeah.
It was
Dude, that
unbelievable.
gash on your arm. I just watched it.
Bro, and you saw it. Like, I'm not, it was like, it wasn't even blood. It was like ooze coming out.
Yeah.
It was like this thick, and the referee was selling it, which made me like I was like having a panic attack.
Right.
If this deathmatch referee is selling it, then something's bad.
So
You know?
what's going, what is that like for because I'm thinking myself as somebody who we've done this for a long time, right? We've wrestled for 20 some odd years. You've done, you've experienced everything in some form or fashion, but this is uncharted water. And so to actually, I'm watching it as you and Devon are watching it, and I'm thinking to myself, well, what the fuck is Matt thinking in this moment as he's just bleeding and getting the pizza cutter? And then you had said yourself, you don't know what Nick Gage is going to do.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm wondering, in that moment, am I thinking, okay, am I going to have to fucking throw down and beat the shit out of this guy just to get out of this thing alive?
Before we went through the curtain, I thought, are they going to try to legit murder me and make it be all my Zack Ryder dies in GCW? Are they going to try to do that? So I was scared to fucking death going into it.
Wow.
But while I was in there, even on the entrance, it's hard to explain because people think indie wrestling. But Bobby, the atmosphere of some of these indie wrestling shows are better than being in a real arena.
Yeah,
you know, and my fucking
it's dangerous.
Yeah,
there's something I don't know, intangible.
They were so against me on my entrance, and then so for him on his entrance that it got me fucking amped up. It's just so contagious. When the people are into it and they're feeling it. So before the bell even rang, I'm like, let's fucking go. We got this.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never gotten hit with a light tube before. But then
these are the first times you're getting really. Well,
I mean, Bobby,
how
many times have you got a pizza cut across the head? For me, that was my first time.
The first time I got Domino's, the guy did come into the house and. No, of course. I mean, I never.
Yeah. So, in the moment, I was loving it until the very, very end where we're talking about that ooze. I think either I superplex him or he superplexes me through a pane of glass.
You superplexed him. I just watched it.
Yeah, that's.
You said that was the worst bump of the match.
It didn't hurt the worst, but that's where I got cut up the most.
Okay, yeah. And that makes sense.
Right.
And so it's a solid pane of glass that you guys are going through.
Plus, we're already landing all the light tubes and other bullshit that's in there.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, I've been in a ring that had a death match, not a death match, but a hardcore match prior to my match. And bumped on some things and been like, oh, what the fuck? This is just a different level.
There's no avoiding it.
Yeah, the debris is supposed to be in there.
It's everywhere.
Fucking hell.
And then that next day, so this is in New Jersey. The next day, I'm supposed to meet my wife, Chelsea. She was my fiance at the time. in California. We were going to go to Universal Studios. Okay,
At least it's a day off.
yeah. Well, believe it or not, Bobby, there's no doctor at GCW backstage. Believe
That's
it or not.
shocking. That
You
is
know?
shocking.
So there was a I want to use this term very loosely, nurse who was back there and supposedly got all the glass out of me. She stitched me up like
she only had one eye.
bro. Long story short, she tells me, "Oh, leave it. These are dissolvable. They were not dissolvable. I got infected. The stitches, I got infected. I had to go to like the ER to get glass out of my shoulder like weeks later. She didn't get it all out,
God almighty.
but there was I didn't even have like bandages. You know what I'm saying? So I literally had this guy John Carlo. I took a shower in his room, and he wrapped me up with fucking towels, right, to stop the bleeding.
How painful was the shower?
The worst, bro.
It had to be.
The worst.
Had to be. I remember playing on AstroTurf when I was in college and then showering after, how painful that was because the Omni Turf, you'd get dirt in some of the cuts. But this is just a different level.
It was next level. So then, like, he's wrapping me with towels. I put my clothes on. I fly cross country. And first of all, I didn't plan to go through the glass, the light tube thing. My plan when I landed was to find a LA Fitness, work out, shower, then meet my wife and do Universal Studios. I could not go to the gym.
Right. No,
right?
Of course not.
I couldn't like walk in LA Fitness like this and use that shower.
So did you not plan to go to the lengths that you did?
I did not
you
plan.
got caught in the moment.
I got caught in the moment. I thought I was going to have a glorified street fight.
Right.
You know?
Oh my God. That just changes the whole
fucking
thing for me.
I thought, maybe I'll get a little color. Maybe I'll go through a door or something. You know what I'm saying? Chair shot, Cookie
when
sheet.
in Rome.
Yeah.
When in Rome. Holy shit. You went full Nick Gage on yourself.
I couldn't have been more invested in that match. Like, there's no way. Like, I gave up my body, and because there's no one, you can love me or hate me, but you can't say that I didn't give 110% in that match.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And there's something to be said for that being your fuel. The way that the hate that they were giving you, because I've been slightly motivated by the hate that I've gotten at times, being a heel, and thought like, well, what does that say about me psychologically? How fucked up am I?
Yeah. And
this is like that on steroids. So like you're fucked up, Cardona.
Yeah. It was the fucking best. And like I said, so the next day I fly cross country. I got a hotel. I tried to take a shower, which was a disaster, because now the towels have stuck to my body because the blood, now it's dry blood. So now I'm like letting the towels get wet and then ripping the scabs off my back.
God.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Bobby? So
I do, but I don't. Like, my imagination knows, but I have no first world idea.
Right. So I'm like, I need to take a little bit of a nap here, right? So I lay all these towels and I lay on the comforter. I'm like, I don't want to mess up this bed. I take a little nap, bro. I'm not even kidding. I bled through to the mattress.
Right. Looked like an abortion was conducted.
We had to go to the front desk and tell them that there was not a murder. That's what, bro. It looked like someone was murdered in that room.
Right.
I tried my best. I put a whole layer of towels down. Like, it won't get through the towels. It got through the towels, the comforter, the fucking every sheet, the fucking mattress pit, all the way to the mattress.
Yeah, your poor wife.
But I still went to Universal that day, though.
Thank God she's in the business. Could you imagine if she was not and this was you?
I know.
What were her thoughts? What were her thoughts on this? Was just like, what?
She, like many people, thought I shouldn't do it. And then, of course, afterwards, that's the greatest thing you ever did. You're a genius.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because she's probably she gets it to the point where it's like, when you go against the current and it ends up being like what this was.
Yeah.
How do you not respect it as a fellow performer, which she is? Like, how do you not go, shit, I need one of these?
Yes. And it was just one of those things. It was, like I said, it wasn't this plan, but I sure as hell capitalized on it and maximized it. And then, I started calling myself the Deathmatch King and wearing these crowns and capes. And to this day, people come to me at autograph signings and go, "Oh, I love all your death matches." Bro, I had one. I had one.
Right.
But it happens all the time.
Yeah.
"Oh, I love all your death matches." Or someone's like, "You're crazy for doing," guys in the business, "You're crazy for doing those death matches."
Right.
I did one, bro.
One. Right.
Now,
And that's the beauty of it too, though. And that's something else that I have so much respect for you for having done this is we've all heard, like, if you say it enough, it becomes real. It becomes reality. But very few people actually put that to the test.
Sure.
And you have, and you do. And it, like, truly, even I'm victim of it with you. Like, I think of, the Deathmatch King.
Yeah.
Or the Indy God, you know what I mean? And it's because you don't, like, you put that to the test. Like, you have made it real. Like, I think in that way you're very Diamond Dallas Page in your own way, that, like, you're gonna get it done one way or the other.
That's the thing, it's like that. There's one thing that you can't say that I am, like, not a hard fucking worker and I'm not going to shove it down your throat. And that's the thing, like, with social media, I tell us the guys all the time, like, it's fucking free advertisement. You better believe I'm going to make sure you know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You might not like me, you might not follow me, you might not watch my stuff, but you're going to know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to make you. I'm going to fucking force it down your throat. I'm going to make sure when you're swiping on your phone, I pop up at least once a day.
Yeah. And you do, man. I have you on my Instagram in my direct messages because I think I subscribed or something to, and I get notifications at least once a week. And you're right. Like, I mean, you just, I think the difference between you and everybody else is that you actually took all of these pieces of advice that we all hear and you put them to the test. And a lot of them are what they say they are. And you just, one of the ones that I hear you say now all the time and that I love is, like, well, it doesn't end unless I quit. So all I have to do is not fucking quit. It's so simple. It's brilliant.
And it might be delusionally optimistic, right? Maybe it's like fucking hope, right? But, like, it's only over when I say it's over.
Well, I mean, I think for a lot of people in this world, like, all you have in a situation when it seems like you're all out of options is hope. So, that's what I think people are looking for, is just some kind of fucking hope.
Yeah, and like, I am not a naturally positive person. I'm like, I'm looking at this protein shaker. It's half empty. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I have to, like, force myself and condition myself to be positive and to be optimistic. That's not how I'm wired naturally.
Wow. You've done it then, because I would think if somebody asked me, that's what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a lot of work, like, even, like, there were times in WWE where, like, I think I also, maybe I was one of the first people on social media. I think I was, and I'm proud of that. Something I'm not proud of is I think I'm one of the first wrestlers who did the passive aggressive tweet about their spot. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, we make mistakes along the way.
Like, I'm not, but I was certainly doing that in, like, 2013. Like, oh, they're burying me, or I'm in catering, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think I invented that fucking bitching about your spot thing, which I'm not proud of, right?
Right.
But, I
hindsight's 20/20.
Sure, but during that time, I realized, okay, I'm bitching and moaning, and I'm sure everyone's been through that point in their career or their life. You're bitching and moaning, right? I'm like, well, me being negative, it's not changing my position at work, and I'm certainly not happier at home. I'm fucking just miserable all the time. Right. So I said, like, what the fuck can I do about this? Because this sucks, right? I'm fucking miserable when I'm on the road. I'm fucking miserable at home. What can I fucking do? And I said, what can I actually control here?
Right.
In this WWE environment, what are the things I can control? I made a list. It was a very short list, Bobby.
Right.
I could control my physique.
Yep.
right? No one could say you can't work out hard. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not going to get heat for working out too hard,
Right.
right? I could control my gear. I made sure I always had like good looking gear. I always looked like I was on a pay per view, even if I was getting killed on Raw in 3 minutes.
Yep.
Right. And like my attitude, right? Like those are the only things I could control. And then of course I was pitching ideas and blah, blah, blah. But like if I showed up to work looking good, in a good mood, fucking, and then nothing happened, well, I did all I could do.
Right.
And then I started becoming happier at home. And then things, they ended up changing at work. Now, is that a coincidence? I don't know.
Right.
But I started getting a couple bones here and there.
Right.
Like
Well,
one day.
And you're doing something.
Right.
Like rather than having it done, whatever it is, having it done to you, being a victim of it, you're causing something. You're causing some kind of change, some kind of something. You're the impetus for whatever it ends up being, as opposed to like, oh, well, I don't have control over A, B, and C, so I'm just here.
And I had that mentality. I had that negative attitude. I did. And then, like I said, I changed those things, and I always made sure I was in fucking great shape and looked good. And one day, I'm literally fucking doing nothing on TV. Like, I'm on the show before Raw, whatever the fuck it was called at the time, Shotgun Saturday Night, whatever it's called, right?
Yeah.
And Vince McMahon was in his office cutting a steak, eating a steak, and just looked up, and I was on, and he said, well, why aren't we doing something with this guy?
Right.
A couple of months later, I won the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. I was doing nothing.
Right.
Like nothing. Because you never know who's watching. You never know what could happen. And that's what this always ready. Yeah, it's a gimmick and a hashtag and it's my music. But like, I'm always ready because some people are going to get opportunities all the time. And that's great. I'm not. I'm one of those people who won't. But if I'm going to get one, I'm going to be fucking ready for it.
Well, but now I think you are one of those guys that gets opportunities all the time, or at least people think you are because you won't let it like not be what it is. Like you just won't. Like I would say right now to me, the two hottest guys in the industry right now, and I'm not saying best looking, although you're a handsome gentleman, but the two guys that like just have the most buzz surrounding them are you and Cross.
Well, I appreciate that.
I mean, it's the truth.
It's
so it's. I'm not blowing smoke. It's you and Cross are both guys that have controlled what you can control, and you're just proof that like you can write your own script with this. It's not gonna go perfect. You're not gonna hit nothing but home runs.
Oh, of course.
But you can. Continue to get up to bat. And
exactly.
I think a lot of times, like, that's all you can really hope for with this.
And that's a great way of putting it because there are so many things that I think are going to be fucking great ideas, home runs, and I fucking strike out, failure.
Yeah.
But like you said, I fucking dust myself off and I get back to the plate.
Yep.
It's like unlimited at-bats.
Yeah.
On the indies. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking start the next day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's the best part. There's like, we're our own boss, like there's a million places to work. And if we can't, we can not even wrestle and just create our own shit on social media. Like there's so much.
And it's the
out
truth.
there.
I mean, that is the truth. You're able to. So I'm not entirely sure where I'm going with it, but like starting the YouTube channel and doing the podcast and like
that's a perfect example.
I'm figuring it out as I go. I have people helping me. I have my partner Jason, and we're working on things. And it's like, okay, we don't have A to Z, but how many things in my life could I say that about? Pretty much nothing.
Right. You just gotta fucking start. There's no
exactly.
perfect time.
And that's something that I've fallen victim to many times where it's like I find an excuse is what it is to procrastinate.
Yes.
And then as soon as you're doing that, like you can, if you're not careful, like a year could go by and you haven't fucking moved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
we all get in each other's heads or our own heads, and we try to, naturally we're like try to figure out excuses. Like you said, like you're waiting for the perfect time to do this or do that. There's no fucking perfect time.
No.
There's never a perfect time.
No. And okay, so then tell me this. Is there a perfect time for Nick Gage to hit your father over the head with a light tube?
Well, the answer to that would be when Chelsea and I renewed our wedding vows at GCW.
Dude, your father took that like a champ. It was like, thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yeah,
holy shit. What a man Papa Cardona is.
Yeah, so like that it was called Homecoming was the event where I wrestled Nick Gage. And the next year, GCW Homecoming is like their WrestleMania, right? So like, I beat Nick Gage, and the next year I unfortunately tore my bicep, so I couldn't wrestle. But like, well, I have to still be on this show. How could I be on the show? What could we do? And I thought, well, what if Chelsea and we just got married that January. What if we renew our vows like 6 months later at GCW? Like, wouldn't it? And we'll get fucking Maven was there as the fucking the priest, right? The ordained minister.
Wow, I didn't know
what
that.
If like we do this whole ridiculous wedding that everyone's shitting on? No one wants us to be there, and like you may now kiss the bride. We're about to kiss. Nick Gage music hits.
Yeah.
He comes out. Maven fucking runs away. My dad steps up to the plate. Boom, light tube. Cake in Chelsea's face. I get the pizza cutter covered in blood. My mom was legit crying.
Right.
And I tried to explain to her before, like, Mom, I'm going to get a little bloody.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm fine. It was not good.
Yeah, I can't imagine her, her watching her baby boy. That's gonna go over real well.
Yeah.
Anything with that much blood, I mean, good Lord. But it's also, I think so correct me if I'm wrong. GCW is a huge part of your world and your life right now,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And would you say at this point that, so you obviously came in there as the turd in the punch bowl, like the proverbial, like they want your, head on a spear.
Yes.
But over how long's it been now?
It's been almost 5 years.
Okay. So a 5-year run of this. What's the climate like? What's the temperature when you go into those buildings now, when you're there?
I think it's great that it's 2025 because I can sell my fucking merch, blah, blah, blah. But when I go through the curtain, they want to be part of the show. Then they fucking throw the bird in my face, blah, blah, blah. But I think the biggest change was the locker room, the boys and girls in the back. Because at first, I'm there's the WWE guy.
Right.
He's coming in for that 1 or 2 shows.
Yeah.
No, motherfucker. I've been here for 4 years.
Yeah.
And check my win-loss record at GCW.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm there to do business. I'm there to and I'll be the first to admit, I'm not there to pass the torch. I want to light a new one for myself.
Right.
But if I can help people along the way, so be it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think maybe I was the outsider in the locker room where now, like, I'm fucking GCW. You know what I'm saying? If there was going to be a GCW invasion on Monday Night Raw, I'm one of the first guys hopping the guardrail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful, and it's not something that back in the 80s would have been possible, but it's something that in 2025, because of kayfabe being dead, because of the way that so much has been revealed, you and I both know, but there's still a few things that are, I don't know if protected's the right word, but I don't think everybody's as smart as they think they are.
Of course not. No way.
And I think that therein is the beauty of the industry in 2025.
I think if there's just a sliver of doubt, we've done our job.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about. What was that supposed to happen? Is this what, do they like? If you're questioning it, then we got them.
Yeah,
it's never going to be how it was back. It's never going to be that way.
Right.
But we can still get them.
Of
You know?
course. And I mean, how many like I brought up Cross before, and like it's that with Cross. What was the documentary? This Whole Thing's a Work, or what? I don't
Yeah.
remember
Yep.
what the title was.
Yep.
And anybody that's listening, go out and watch that. It's great. But even that in and of itself is because the business has been revealed the way that it is. People, they've seen the way the donuts are made.
Yes.
But they still think that they know more than they actually know. And then
100%.
because they're doubting, you can still be worked. I don't care. And that's the thing is everybody's so afraid to be a mark.
Right.
You know, it's such
Yeah.
a dirty word, but it's the same thing as like, it's the same reason I don't like the term jobber because you're making fun of me because I did my job.
That is like my number one hated word in all the
Yeah.
business. And what makes me even more mad is probably going to give me some heat with the boys listening. I hate that
Get
the
the heat.
boys have started to use it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like when I can't believe I'm going to say back in my day, but like when I was in WWE, when I started in 2007,
Yeah.
nobody was calling each other, "Oh, you're a job." No one was saying that in the business,
Right.
right? No one was calling anybody a jobber.
Right.
No one's calling that guy over there changing, still busting his ass a jobber,
Sure.
right? Nobody.
No.
But now, like the wrestlers have started calling other people. I just,
You know-
and then the fans think it's okay. Oh God,
Right.
that's my pet peeve.
My take on that is that because you what you have now is you got a lot of the boys are nothing more than just fans that happen
Right.
to be in the locker room, and they may not have that. And this is going to probably get me some heat, but they may not have that respect,
Right.
you know, and that in and of itself is fucked up. Because at the end of the day, like if you're gonna make fun of me for me earning my check, like okay, well then I guess paint me with that brush. But
Right.
if the name on the check, you know, if it's Vince McMahon and I can cash it, what did I do that isn't admirable?
Right.
You know, like I'm paying my bills, I'm taking care of my family.
And I can kind of give fans a pass for saying that, but if you're in the business, I can't give you a pass.
Yeah, I agree.
You should be smarter than that.
Yes,
You
unfortunately.
really should.
Unfortunately, there are too many. It's shocking how many don't.
Right.
You know, it's sad.
But let's talk positive. There's enough positive stuff going on out there.
Yes.
You know, we don't want to bury.
Well, let's think about that. What is positive?
Can I tell the story of when we met, Bobby? For those who don't know.
I mean, I can't see why not.
Yeah, I mean it's not a great story, but it's just. But it was, you know, I had it was myself. It was a WWE tryout for some reason. It was like before a house show on Long Island, New York. They had a little tryout. I was there. You were there. Brian Myers was there.
Yep.
There was this big guy, Mason Rage. He was there.
Oh, I remember he was the guy from the UK, right?
No, he was a Long Island guy.
Was he?
He went to NYWC where
Who
I
am
started.
I thinking of? I'm thinking of there was a big bodybuilder type guy, and he was Welsh. But this must have been a different
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's this tryout, and like it was a WWE.com application. You signed up
Yes.
on the website,
Yes.
and I would say probably half the people like were wrestlers or kind of knew how to wrestle, and the other half had no clue.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, I do remember that now. Yeah.
So we're doing like cardio drills, like in the in the bowl in the crowd. There's no crowd there, like up the bleachers or up the stands. And then the ones who could have matches, like they had matches, they threw us in there, had matches on the fly. And I remember I was so lucky because I wrestled Mason Rage by chance, but we went to the same school. So like,
Right.
So we were able to have, looking back, it was probably the shits, but I thought it was at least passable.
Right.
I thought it was passable, but I
Right.
thought like, oh my God, like me and Brian, we did so bad. And I remember Tommy Dreamer was like the head of like the talent relations at the time. And he said,
Yep.
if anyone's going to get a job out of this, and he pointed to you, Bob, because you like
Yeah.
were You were like a pro's pro. You looked like $1 million. You fucking knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
I remember we all went out to Sabaro's Pizza in the mall. Do you remember that?
We did. I do. 100% I do.
Yeah. But then, like, I thought, oh, there's no fucking way. All right. But, like, I thought, I was only 20 years old. I'm like, at least I got to try out at 20 years old.
Of course.
But I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get this. Like, they already said, like, everyone pretty much sucks except for Bobby.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah.
like a week or so later, I'm pumping my gas. And Tommy Dreamer calls me, tells me I'm signed to WWE. I'm like, what? Couldn't fucking believe it. And then ever since then, like, you weren't signed there, but I always followed your career and to see all the things that you did. And then when you eventually made it to WWE, I was like, fuck yeah. Perfect example of not quitting, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
like
I mean, that means
over 10 years later.
Yeah, that means a ton to me, man. So thank you for sharing that. That means a ton to me because yeah, that was another one of those times when like you thought like, oh man, this is it. And then it doesn't happen. And when you have a few of those in your career, it's tough to keep going because you're like, well, I picked myself up the last time and here the fuck we are again. And if somebody had said to me all the way back, like even before that, on the come up, you know what it was like in the Northeast and whatever. Mm-hmm. If somebody had said to me, like, okay, so first off, I'm 5'8". So I'm not the biggest guy in the world. Yeah. And if somebody, when we were coming up, if you were north of 30 years old, like you were old.
Right.
So for me to think at any point in there, like, okay, well, it's still at 5'8". I'm going to get a job with WWE, but it's not going to be until you're 42 years old. I'd have been like, you're smoking crack. Yeah. And that's what happened. So, like, yeah, I guess you're right. Like, don't quit. Don't fucking quit.
There's no fucking formula. There's no clear path. Everyone has a different journey, right? And, like, maybe that's me, again, being delusionally optimistic and telling myself that as an excuse to keep me going.
Yeah, but that's who the fuck you are, so fuck it.
But there's no clear path. You pick fucking 5 random guys in WWE, AEW. None of them have the same fucking story.
Nope, you're exactly right.
There's no fucking one way to do this.
Yeah, that's the truth, man. It's the truth, and I think for me, coming up, I reference so many things back to like college football and stuff, and it's not the same because like that path, if you're going to go to the NFL and obviously you got to be, one of the elite, but if you're going to do that, like, yeah, the way to do that is kind of set in stone. You get a scholarship or you get on a college team, you do well enough and you impress and go to the combine and et cetera, et cetera. This is not that.
No, if you make it to the NFL and you are the best player, you will play.
Right.
What is the best wrestler?
Right.
Subjective.
Right. Totally.
So there are people, that I think are like the best wrestlers in the world, but the internet thinks suck and vice versa.
Yeah, 100%.
Who's to say? It's all fucking opinion based. There's what are we talking about here?
So, I mean, that begs the question, why the fuck do any of us want to do this?
Right. That's why this business is so fucking crazy when you really think about it.
Yeah.
Because we fucking love it. We saw it. I assume me and you saw it on TV, never fucking grew out of it.
Yeah.
But again, there's some people who do it because someone say, hey, you might be a good wrestler.
Right.
Someone could be tall in the airport. Hey, you should try for this. There's no right or wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you show the business respect once you're in it, it doesn't matter how you got in. Right. That's my opinion. Like at first, like when I first started, I used to get mad, like, oh, this guy doesn't really watch wrestling. Well, who the fuck cares? If you treat the business with respect and work your ass up once you get in, who cares if I bust Chelsea's. She doesn't have balls, but I bust her balls all the time. Like the other day she was wearing this like WrestleMania 2000 shirt. I said, Chelsea, name me one match of WrestleMania 2000.
I love the back and forth between you and your wife, the banter, and that there was one of them where you farted in the car and then you rolled up the windows and it's like, okay, this is that's a team right there. Yeah. That's a husband and wife. Oh shit! Only in wrestling.
I mean, she's a perfect example of somebody who didn't like dream of being a wrestler, but now I see how hard she works. She does more appearances, Netflix, fuck whatever, than actually wrestling. All the
Yeah.
PR for WWE, she works her ass off, but she can't tell you the pay-per-view. She can't tell you the main event of WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like her path was she was in college, living in Calgary, turned on TV, saw like the Bella twins, said, that looks
Right.
fun. Let me Google how to become a wrestler. Well, who has a wrestling school?
Really?
Who has a
Holy
wrestling school
shit.
down the street? Lance Storm in Calgary. So just tiptoes into
Wow.
Calgary's into the Lance Storm School in Calgary and starts her wrestling career.
How did I not know that your wife was Canadian?
Yeah, she's Canadian, yeah.
Yeah. How did I not know that? Huh. But I mean, that's the truth, and it just gives more credibility to the fact that, like, what you just said, everybody's path is different.
Right.
There's literally no cookie cutter way to do this, and I guess that's kind of the beauty of it, and dare I say, like, that's what makes Matt Cardona, the complete Matt Cardona right now, so engaging. Like, that's what I think for you right now. It's that people understand and they know that, like, you're not gonna quit, and that you're not going to go the fuck away. You're like herpes.
I'm like a cockroach. I won't fucking die.
Yeah. Well, and there's something you need that in this industry, because at the end of the day, I think if you really get caught up in it, you a strong case can be made for any of us to be like, why the fuck am I doing this? At any point in time.
And there are certainly, listen, Bobby, there are certainly points in this independent run where I'm thinking the same thing. What the fuck am I doing with my life? Of course, like,
Yeah.
I'm at Hammerstein Ballroom. This is fucking great. Or I'm at some
Right.
random show, fanny pack full of merch money cash. This is great.
Right.
But like, if I'm, a couple days ago, I took a booking in Toronto. Turns out, no, it was Sudbury, Canada, 4 hours away. So I'm driving 4 hours. I'm in the
Yeah.
middle of nowhere. There's not
Yep.
going to be a tweet about this show. I'm thinking, what am
Yep.
I fucking doing? But for me, I have to treat the quote unquote small shows like they're the big shows, because if I don't take pride in what I'm doing, if I don't go to the barber the night before, get the beard trimmed up, if I don't get the tan, if I'm not treating every show as a big show, then why am I fucking doing it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. No.
Like, what are we doing at this
100%.
point?
And that's why, like, any young guys that are looking for advice, I always steer them towards you. And I'll say it again, Cross, like, because you guys you're doing it right in that you're not willing to, like, cut corners. You're not willing to take no for an answer. And that, it just, your mentality being something that you're always going to be able to control, and that mentality being rock solid, which that's the impression I think anyone who views your social media or anything else is going to think. And you came on here earlier and said that, like, no, it's not always that way, but that's even more reason to follow your lead when that is the perspective that you approach all of this from, because it gets results,
Yeah, I think I appreciate that. I feel like, in 2025, the fans can see through the bullshit, and they just want authenticity. And something like that I found, I made this connection with the fans in 2011 when I started this YouTube show, because I knew I just need a connection with the audience. They needed to love me or hate me. When they felt indifferent about me, that's where you're fucking dead in the water.
Yeah.
I needed a connection. Now, post WWE, that connection, it just drives everything. It drives everything that I do. And, like, I'm super authentic, and you might love me or hate me, but you're getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why my social media, it could be me, promoting a match. It could be me petting my dog. It could be my action. I don't care if I'm not looking at the fucking likes. I'm showing me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you like it, great. And if you don't, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it.
Well, there's something so true about that. There's something so refreshing about that, and that word authenticity, I think, is something that, because so much of this is revealed and social media has become what it's become, that if you're not being authentic, like, you're gonna get found out.
It's gonna happen eventually.
That's not a hill you want to die on.
Exactly.
So you might as well lead with your balls hanging out and give them everything, because in the end, that's the only thing that people are going to respect. And
Right.
that in and of itself causes anxiety,
Sure.
because you're about to release something that you're like, well, I don't know what kind of reaction this is going to get. But the thing is when you learn to lose the primary concern being what that reaction's going to be, you can't help but lead with authenticity, and I think that's the recipe in 2025.
You just said it perfectly. Like, WWE did their Unreal series where they pulled back the curtain. I said, well, fuck, if they're doing it, I'm gonna fucking do it. So I put out my own version of it called Unsigned.
I watched that,
and I kind of I let my guard down a little bit. And I was afraid, what are people gonna say? Because I let the director of this ask the hard hitting questions, the stuff that I get all the time, like how does it feel when people say, oh, like you say you love being on the indies, but all you do is talk about WWE. It's like, well, what do you want me to fucking do, right? Like I wish there were bigger fish out here. There's not. Give me more fucking fish.
Right.
So right now I'm the big fish in the small pond. So I'm controlling what I control. Of course, I'd like to work like where my wife works, or like be in WrestleMania. But like until that happens, and if it never happens, so be it. But I'm gonna fucking work my ass off. And I don't care if you think like I'm a loser for wanting to be back there or whatever your opinion is. Like I have these goals, and if you might not think I'll ever make it back, and maybe I won't.
Right.
But if I don't have a goal, then what the fuck are we doing?
Right. No, I get it. And that's the thing too, is they're gonna have an opinion either way. Right. And you're entitled to that opinion. That's what the fucking comments are for. Yes. Go ahead and put them in there. Yeah. But if you're driven by those, or you're motivated one way or the other by those, you're doing something wrong. If you're coming out there and just putting you front and center, and those are going to be part of it, and you accept that they're going to be part of it, but they're also that's why they're allowed to have that, whatever that opinion is, it can't drive you as a performer.
Right. Brian Myers gives me shit all the time because I say this quote. He hates when I say this quote, but it's the truth. I'm not trying to prove people wrong. I'm trying to prove myself and my fans right.
Yes.
Now, of course, I have a little chip on my shoulder, and if I prove people wrong, yeah, fuck you. But that's not the main. No. That's not what's driving me.
Right. That's not the primary. That's the, and it's okay for it to be the secondary.
Sure. Like I'm not fueled by bitterness. I'm not fueled by negativity. Like if I prove some people wrong, okay, cool. But that's not why I'm doing this.
No.
I'm not
and that makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
Primary or secondary, that makes all the difference in the world. That it's just like, that's a little sidecar of it. I'm not saying that I don't.
Of course.
I'm not aware of it, but that's not why I'm doing it.
Right. Yeah. If I prove some people wrong, cool.
Yeah.
But that's not the reason I wake up every fucking morning.
Right. Right.
I do it to prove myself right, and the people who have supported me right.
Right. Right. Because that's
all mindset.
That's healthy.
Yeah.
That's healthy, and that's like, we're in a fucking weird business. It's a fucked up place to live, but it doesn't mean that we can let ourselves devolve into being fucked up performers in this fucked up business. Like, you still have to have your ethics and what you will and what you won't do, and you need to hold to those things and have some sort of thermostat for yourself.
Right, of course, because this business, it doesn't know anybody anything. It's gonna fucking chew us up and spit us out. It's all how we react to it.
Yep.
And how we handle the highs and the lows. I say this all the time too. You can't just love this business when things are going your way, when you're getting pushed, when you got a title. You gotta love it when you're at fucking rock bottom. And I've been there a few times, because when you get something, when you get that bone, you're gonna appreciate it even more.
Right. You gotta love it when Nick Gage is rubbing a pizza cutter against your forehead.
Well, I mean, at least that was making me something. You gotta love it when you're in fucking Sudbury, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my fucking God, am I gonna get a meal tonight?
Right.
Like that's
right.
But you have to love it when you're fucking sitting catering. If you're in a TV fucking company, you're sitting catering doing nothing. Yeah. You're pitching ideas and nothing's happening for you. I've been there. I've done that.
Yeah, the lows are low. Yeah.
The highs are high, the lows are low,
Yeah.
right?
Peaks and
You,
valleys.
you gotta love it during both the peaks and valleys. You
Yeah.
have to. It's
Yeah.
tough, but that's the only way to stay sane in this fucking crazy business.
No, I get it. I think you're 100% spot on, and I think that that's what happens after 20 some odd years of doing this. You know, you don't know this in the beginning, and you figure it out as you go, and then this is where you fucking end up, and pizza cutters and light tubes.
Oh boy.
So Matt, what's next for you? You just had something with GCW? They just ran. Were you on that?
I wasn't on that. GCW runs so many shows.
Yeah,
they run,
and they run without you.
They do run without. I can't do every show.
They?
No, it's okay. But they have such a great roster, and then usually they'll get the local talent, the local names from that area.
Okay.
GCW has brought me all over the world. My 50th state was that I've never been to. After 20 years was Hawaii. I went there with GCW.
Oh, that's awesome.
GCW runs everywhere. We got a show coming up in New Jersey. They have like a big mall, kind of like the Mall of America. It's in Minnesota.
Okay.
It's called the American Dream Mall in New Jersey. I'm actually wrestling Cross there.
Oh, shit.
Me and Cross in New Jersey. So if you guys are in the New Jersey area, come check that out.
Yeah, for sure. Get out there and check out, like I said, the two... right now, the indies and that scene is just, it's there for the taking, and it's something like it's never been in the past. And like I said before, you and Cross are the two guys right now that I think embody that and represent it the most. And y'all are GCW's putting y'all in a ring against one another. So like, yeah, sign me up. I need a ticket.
I appreciate that. And listen, like I don't, the indies, I've been seeing it on social media the past couple of weeks, like indies are dying. And like, listen, I wasn't on the indies when, Ring of Honor was hot, or PWG, like you, Bobby,
right.
That's when I think there were a lot of stars on the indies, right? And now because of NXT, the ID program, AEW, once someone gets a little buzz, they get taken right away, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm out there every fucking weekend. There's so much great promotions out there. There's so much great talent. Now, maybe there's not star power, but that's not to say there's not great fucking shows and great fucking talent out there that you might not know yet.
Right.
Well,
it seems like everybody likes to slap a label on, like put a timestamp on things. Like, oh, things are good right now. Things are bad right now. I think things are different. And they have to change, like the things that the places you just named, the PWGs and the Ring of Honors, and these things are hot at one point. I can remember before going to NXT, it seemed like New Japan had the vibe, and then next thing you know, it was changing, and then PWG becomes this like weird proving ground sort of thing, and then next thing you know, you get guys like Kevin Owens and El Generico going to WWE, and it was like those guys, they were not the prototype, so anything can happen. Then Fergal jumps, and it's like, wait a second. And I just think that that's how this industry ebbs and flows, and we're in nothing less than or nothing more than the next version of that.
Absolutely.
And and I just think that that's the beauty of pro wrestling, is that it evolves, and it is that progression, and it'll never fucking end. And
never.
Like we could have a nuclear holocaust, and the only things that'll be left will be fucking rats and pro wrestling.
That's right, baby. Fuck.
All right, Matt, where do the people catch you next, other than GCW
just
in Jersey?
Follow me on social media at the Matt Cardona. I'm always posting shit. You'll see where I'm at. I'll be plugging my toy company. I'll be posting pictures of my hot wife, or my dogs, or my cats, or my toys.
Yes,
me
sir.
At Disney World. I'm just, like I said, just being authentic. I'm an open book, maybe a little too open, but that's just how I operate. It's worked for me. And I'm going to keep making it work until it doesn't work.
there are a few things in my life that I'm more sure of than the fact that you're going to keep making it work, because you're just, I said it to you earlier about you got a little bit of DDP to you in that way that like you're just not willing to shut the fuck up. You're not willing to hear no. You're not going to be denied. And I think that that's part of what makes you great. And if I can be totally sincere, it's your charm, man. Your charm is that like you won't fucking be denied. And,
Bobby, I appreciate
that.
Thank you so much, dude.
No, man, it's my pleasure, and thank you for coming on here and giving me and the Where's the Lie podcast your rub.
I'm kind of offended because you have a better setup than I do. Usually, like I have a nice setup. You're fucking like, what's that, 4K? What do you got over there? Oh my, it looks like a real human over there. It looks like you look. This is top notch. I don't know where you were at, but that studio looks, for the camera, whatever you're using, it looks great.
Just don't come to my house. Just don't come, see the basement I live in.
Well, you look good now. That's all that matters. Perception's reality, right?
Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. And the white beard's here to stay. So,
hell yeah.
Yes, sir. Well, Matt, it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming on and gracing us with your presence. Because I will say this, all bullshit aside, like, yeah, I mean, you are you're one of those guys right now. And like, I don't know, as far as I'm concerned, like you can do no wrong in this industry right now. You got the high hand.
I appreciate that, Bobby. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. My pleasure. Thank you. All right, y'all. Catch us next time. We're probably going to come in with a guest that does not measure up. I'm just warning you.
Brian Myers next week.
Myers, you heard it here first. And cut the dead weight. Leave Eddie Edwards at home.